what it is, but I've always been a little bit obsessed with British houses. I think it's mostly just because it's so different from the style of houses that we have here in Florida. And also my husband is British, so I'm kind of used to seeing these things. But there's just something about it that even when they're a little bit ugly, I still love them. And I'm in England visiting his family this week, so I'm feeling a little bit inspired, and I feel like we have to build a British style house. Of course, we're gonna do it in Henford-on-Backley because this world is literally British inspired. This world does have kind of stinky lighting, but it's fine. And I do have a handful of inspo pics for you. These are like classic British semi-detached houses. This is what I would refer to as being a duplex when there's two houses that are attached like this, but everywhere has different names for it. You actually don't really see a lot of duplexes like this at all where I live, but it's pretty common elsewhere. There's a couple of key features here, all right? Number one is the brick, kind of like an orangey toned brick. A lot of them also have these sort of bay windows in the front, but for the most part, they're kind of flat. A lot of them also have kind of like a tile roof almost. You can see it a bit more in this one. This particular house, I hate to say it, is not cute. This one, I don't think we'll try and build. I'm just giving you some examples. Same with this one. This is not, it's not the cutest looking house. That's fine. That's fine. Everywhere's got weird looking houses. Anytime you get a new build, like anywhere in the world, I feel like new builds are always just so bland looking these days. This is more the vibes that I'm going for. I like the rounded part. I like the brick colors, this sort of window style. This feels very classic to me and kind of what I want to make. I also like this one though, with the brick and the stone combo, and kind of like this burgundy color with the windows. And then this one is not semi-detached, it's like a row of townhouses, but this kind of has similar energy too. So that's kind of what we're aiming to recreate today. Something along those lines. A couple of quick disclaimers. I am from Florida. I am not an expert on British architecture. I do know some things. I've spent quite a bit of time in the UK. My husband's British, but it's never gonna be like a perfectly accurate recreation, okay? It's a Sims build. Like we can only do so much in The Sims. So I just wanna manage some expectations. And I think with this, we'll use the rent pack to make it an actually functional residential rental lot. Before we get into it, I wanna thank ThredUp for sponsoring today's video. They've been supporters of the channel for a really long time, so a lot of you are probably already familiar with them, but in case you've never heard of ThredUp, they're an online thrift store, and August is actually secondhand month. They're launching some cool new features on their website to celebrate and also to help level up the secondhand shopping experience. First of all, they have a new and improved search functionality, so you can search for items more specifically now. You can search by description, style, brands, really anything you can think of. It works best with keywords about things like material and color, accents, categories. So you might search something like embroidered floral shirt, and you'll get some pretty good results. And they have a new image search feature. And with this, you can upload a photo of your fashion inspo and it'll try and search for items that are similar on ThredUp. So maybe you see a really cool outfit on a model or something. Well, you can upload that photo and image search it, and ThredUp will try and suggest items that look like it. And there's also a new feature called Style Chat, and this can help give you more catered options. So you can open it up and tell it that you're looking for a certain style type, like cottagecore maybe, or maybe you're shopping for a concert outfit. You could tell that to the Style Chat. You could even tell it to like recreate an outfit from a movie, and it can search that for you and suggest some options. This is seriously so cool. ThredUp has really revolutionized thrifting. They've made it easier than ever to buy clothing secondhand. I literally only buy clothes from ThredUp these days. I actually just bought a handful of new things, including this shirt, because I'm going on a trip to the UK soon. I think when you see this video, I will be in the UK visiting Dan's family, but you can sift through basically endless styles and find exactly what you're looking for. It's convenient and it's sustainable. I am a huge fan of ThredUp, so go ahead and click that link down below to check out all these new features for yourself. And thank you again to ThredUp for sponsoring this video. And with that, let's go ahead and get back into The Sims. Okay, we're back. Let's build. I think that with this, oh my goodness, the lighting is so bad. I might build it backwards just so I can see it better for the colors in the beginning. So they're gonna need to be touching like this. I'm not sure if I like it like that or not though. Maybe it should be a little bit wider even, because then, oh my gosh, this is a mess. But if we did it like this, we could probably put a column in between them to indicate like where the end of the lot is. Although, no, it looks bad. It looks bad. Never mind. I do think I'll put a little bit of an addition on the sides like that. And then it'll also be quite close to the front of the lot, I think. Maybe it has to scoot back like one tile more. Again, I'm not really 100% sure how this is gonna be. I'm kind of just winging it right now. It might actually do really well to have like fences for the front yard. Let me flip it around real quick. This is the problem with the lighting being this bad. I want to do it backwards just so I can see what color it's supposed to be like, but I also want to make sure it looks good from the front, so I don't know what's best. Okay, I don't think I'll have this part right here. I think I'll have the front door be right here, and we'll have the front doors be next to each other. I also don't think I'll use this wall. I'll probably pick a different kind of wall for us to be using for the real thing. And maybe they could have like a little bump out for the front door. I feel like I could see that making sense. There's gonna need to be just one plain roof texture across the whole thing. I wonder if we can sorry, it's bad. Never mind. Sorry. Sometimes you do these things and you think it's a good idea at first and then you realize actually that was a huge mistake. But we could probably have this. I wasn't really planning on using the tile from For Rent, but actually it's not that bad. Maybe it is that bad. Well, they have orange tile. This picture literally has orange tile. Maybe it's fine. We can do this kind of like reddish toned brick too. I need to look at it from the back so I can see the colors better. That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe the back can have those taller bits that I was talking about. Oh, and they can have like little small gardens back there. That's so fun. I like that. Again, I'm not really planning on using this fence. I want to have a lowish fence. I'd actually like for it to be brick. We could maybe use a half wall because then I can make it match. That's kind of more what I was picturing. I'd also like to have gates though. Oh my God, this is so weird. The way the wallpaper goes like that is like so annoying. Can't intersect with walls. You can give me a small gate. I'm gonna go into debug already. I know I'm getting like so far ahead of myself right now, but I have an idea. There's like this little brick accent thing. It's literally from base game debug. I'm gonna have to find it. I'm picturing like one of these sort of end pieces, but I know there's one that's brick like this. Of course, that's a different color brick. I don't even know if we have that same color orange brick, but I think that's perfect. Let me save myself some of these so I don't have to keep digging for them later if I need to get more. They're really tall. I don't really know if they need to be that tall. Oh, this comes in like an orangey tone. It is still different, but that's even more orange. I hate orange brick. It's like my least favorite brick color. Well, I thought we would probably have like a stucco sort of texture on that. Well, we can copy these roof pieces onto the back. I kind of like them going like that. I think that's kind of nice. The only problem is I was picturing there being a roof kind of like this. And that's where I sort of wish that there was maybe like, I don't know, a gap between the two of them. We can maybe make this work with the gap in between them. It does give us like a weird little nook. I don't love the weird little nook, but hey, maybe we could put the trash can right there in the weird little nook, and then it feels more intentional. I think just realistically speaking, it's probably better for them to not be near each other like that because it looks kind of bad. So maybe I should put them on the ends. Yeah, you know, you hate to admit it, but it does look better that way. I don't really want it to be true, but it does look better that way. And these are actually quite small. I think we could probably fit maybe like 3 bedrooms in them. It depends how we do the layout. I would have loved if we could have had a spot for like a car or something right here. I just think that with the way the lot is, it probably won't fit that. Let me see how tall these are compared to how tall the fence gates are, because I would like to get a fence gate. I don't really know which one. I guess we could just stick to the same height, but I kind of want more privacy in the back. And it's kind of silly to have a gate this low if we're gonna have the fence be as tall as it is, right? How does that one look? Oh, that's nice though. That is really tall. Maybe not. Maybe go back to being small again. Okay, in real life, yes, it would be nicer to have a taller fence for more privacy, but they'll get over it. I think I just like how this looks too much to pass it up. Oh, and I got almost exactly the right amount of those. That's good. I'm painting these little bump outs with the white stucco also. I'm actually not really sure what roof texture to use because I do kind of want it to match what we have already, but I don't want it to be so stark white. And this kind of stuff, like with the trim, that's the kind of thing that looks better in The Sims than it does in real life. And it probably wouldn't even happen in real life, but I just feel in my heart that I need to have it in The Sims because I can't bring myself to not have any trim. I am currently having some difficulties with the color of the half wall trim because I don't really want it to be so stark white. I kind of want to have like this grayish color, but it doesn't really come in a color like that, so we have no options. I also actually think the pieces on the sides are probably bad, but I'm gonna see if I can just hide them with trees, because I'll admit that I don't really think it works either, but I do want to have something over there. This is where you kind of run into problems with recreating real life stuff in The Sims, because in real life it would just be a flat wall, and that's fine, but we don't want that in The Sims. We want it to be cooler than that, but then it becomes unrealistic, so it's a balance. It's a constant balance. If I put that tree back there, they can still walk under that. that. Yeah, okay. Okay, I put so many trees in just now, but I think that helps to blend it all together. As far as windows go, I'm actually thinking maybe the ones from Get Famous, because they kind of have that like reddish color that we're going for. They also come in a handful of different sizes, so it shouldn't be so hard for us to use them. I do wish they were a little bit taller. I think that's my only thing, because I'm looking at windows like in this house, and they have way, way, way taller windows, and there's like more of them as well. Oh, I mean, that actually wouldn't even be that bad, but I don't think that matches. The other one that I was picturing is maybe this one, because this is kind of like an in-between. It's like a little bit taller. It's also a little bit skinnier. Only problem is I don't think that comes in the same color. Oh, well, it comes in a similar enough color. I bet that's like totally different. It doesn't look bad in the shadows, but when it's in the sun, I bet it's like way worse. Yeah, it is different. Yeah, I think right now I'm really wishing that I was able to have them maybe further over. I guess I could probably do that. It might be easier to do it from the inside because you can see how it fits more. I'm not sure how the curtain situation is gonna be if we do it like that, but I do prefer how that looks from the outside. Okay, I think we're onto something. And I could probably use those same windows. I mean, these ones have the trim is visible from the inside, which is kind of bad. I'm not super thrilled with there being that reddish color in here too, but that's okay. As long as they're in different rooms, it hopefully won't be that noticeable because there is gonna be like a relatively closed off floor plan in this house. Okay, I'm also not really sure what kind of door is best to have, but I think that one sort of matches the color scheme that we're going for, so I might just do that. And then if we got a column up the middle, that kind of helps. You can tell what we're going for, and you can tell that it's two houses. I was kind of picturing like a little gravel front yard, and then like gravel pathways to get up to the front doors. Is that one even in the right place? Oh, it's too far over. And we can try and decorate each of these sides differently and have like a little bit more customization for them. I fear it's not really screaming British. I hate that window. I feel like they wouldn't have that. Okay, don't mind me. I'm just trying to scoot them all closer together. Because if they're touching, maybe that's nicer. I don't know. Let's just stick with it because I think it's not that bad. We also have to figure out the floor plan. So I am honestly envisioning it being kind of tight inside of these living areas. They're also gonna have to be mirrors of each other, I think. So we'll try to achieve that. There's gonna need to be doors to the back. And I think it's okay if we have a sliding door. That happens everywhere. Everybody likes sliding glass doors. Again, the sliding door isn't exactly the right color, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, here's kind of what I'm thinking for the floor plan on this side. I wanna have like a little living room, kind of like this. We could always do a fireplace. Maybe there could be like a chair or a cat tree or something in the corner. We could also potentially scoot it over a bit more. It kind of just depends how we want to do it. And then we kind of have to pick if we want to do doors or if we want to do archways. I think realistically, doors makes more sense for what we're trying to achieve. Oh, you know what? Scoot it in even one tile further. I don't know. I feel really unsure about this. I think part of me would really love to have a bathroom that's kind of tight in this area, but my original idea was to have the bathroom be like right here. I just don't know if I want to have the bathroom like off of the kitchen. Maybe I won't do that and I will have a separate kitchen room. Maybe the bathroom could just be right here in the middle. It's a little bit big. It's actually this part that's throwing me off, the like addition that I added on. I think I'll put a dining room here, or maybe the dining room would be better in there because it's next to the kitchen. So we can have the dining room like that. Okay, so you have living room, dining room, kitchen in the back, a bathroom in the middle, and just a big long hallway basically. It's not the most ideal, but it will do. And then upstairs, we have to figure out a way to get, I think, like probably 3 bedrooms. Also, potentially important to note, I don't think that we have to have a bathroom up here. It might be nice to have one, but it doesn't have to have one. And this is actually, I think, pretty realistic, this little layout. Although this room is quite big. But then we have one tiny room, one smaller room, a bigger primary bedroom. Oh, or it becomes 4 bedrooms. Maybe it could be 4 bedrooms. Let's do it like that. I think that's way more fun. I'll just copy it in the next door unit. Okay, so for context, we have 4 bedrooms in each house. There's 2 bathrooms in each house, one downstairs and one upstairs. And then we have a decent amount of hallway space. Unfortunately, a lot of this house is hallway, but we're trying to make it a more open floor plan intentionally, so I think that's fine. Okay, let's pick some decor now. I also have to figure out the rest of the windows. I wonder if we could maybe have big windows along this wall in the kitchen, and I could have like the sink in the middle of it. I don't really know what color I want to use in the kitchen. Part of me is actually kind of tempted just to use this Home Chef Hustle one again. This reminds me of the wallpaper in Dan's parents' parents' house, so it feels appropriate to me to use. Is that even the right color? No. Oh boy. Make sure we have the right swatch. And I keep trying to use the wrong one. So we can have the sink there. I can have a dishwasher. And then I really would like to get a washer. Like, well, not a washer and dryer stacked. I don't think you would ever find that in the UK, but we can put the washer in the kitchen too. We'll have to put a clothesline outside. This is one of those times where real life and The Sims just don't mesh because one, I find hanging clothes out to dry in The Sims really annoying. So in real life, you might have a washer and then hang up your clothes to dry, or you might have a combination washer dryer. There's no combination washer dryer in The Sims. So I don't really want to put a stacked one just because I feel like it doesn't make sense for what we're trying to build. But it's just hard to know what's best to do to make it realistic but also functional for us in the game. I never play with the clotheslines though, so maybe it's kind of fun to have it. Please don't yell at me for this, but I am gonna do something really bad. I'm gonna put like my own custom corner cabinet. I like the idea of this kind of being like a pantry. So they have a pantry cabinet there. From my limited experience, I can say that this seems good. With my limited experience, I think it works. They could probably have an extra window in the kitchen. I think that would be cute. I'm gonna give them some little pet bowls in here. I think that I want this to be in a grayish color, but none of them really match. Okay, 2 pet bowls, plant, trash can. I'm looking at more of the stuff from Home Chef Hustle because I just love Home Chef Hustle. It's such a good pack. Maybe I'll put this little dish drying rack over here. Does it make sense on top of the washing machine? Probably not, but it's okay. Oh, a kitchen scale. I also like the idea of a stand mixer. Maybe I'll put the 2 of them together. Oh, there is this. Oh, never mind. That's too big. I was gonna say we could put that, but no, it's too much. It won't work. I'm gonna put a fruit bowl because I don't want them to use that counter to cook. I think I'd like them to use this counter to cook. And I could put a little plant kind of in between the 2. That might help to blend it all together a bit more. Okay, that's actually, I think, a really cute little kitchen. That gives us more of a style vibe for the rest of the house too. I'm not sure if I want to do the same wallpaper in the bathroom, but I think I probably will. Okay, I'm also gonna base this bathroom off a lot of my limited British bathroom experiences. They love like a tankless floating kind of situation, like this toilet. Same thing with the sink. There's like openness on the underside. I think it's because a lot of these rooms are small, and also that's nice for cleaning because you can sweep under it more easily. But I have never lived in a house that has the tank in the wall like this and has like the button pressed to flush or anything. So it's weird for me, but I think that that's probably the best that we can do for this bathroom. Maybe I should buy a more expensive shower. I shouldn't be putting like the cheapest one, right? I am gonna put the hamper in here. This is purely for like Sims usefulness. I think that we'll be really glad that we had the hamper in the bathroom because then it's easy access to the laundry room. We all know how Sims are. I am doing us a favor right now by putting it like that. I also think that I would like to have a full bathroom up here in this little space. I wonder if it would still be functional if I scooted everything. Oh, don't flip. I actually think there's a high chance that it still works like this, but I'll have to bring a Sim here and test it later. They're not as bad at that kind of thing as you might expect. You can even make a functional bathroom in 1x1, and this is 2x2, so it should be plenty of space. Okay, I think that hallway could be done, honestly. It doesn't need to be fancy in the little hallway. I do maybe want to get something slightly fancier in this hallway. I don't think we have enough room, even if we wanted to. I don't think I can put a table in here or anything, but we could probably put like umbrellas and a doormat and stuff like that. I'm looking for artwork for this wall that's like kind of long. I don't know, like this one might not be so bad because that kind of fits what we're going for, and then it has a lot of art. I might put a mirror in between those 2 spaces, and I know that people always get mad at me when I do this. Everyone's always like, oh my god, here she goes again, putting a desk with a computer in the hallway. But listen, would it be preferable to have a proper space for this? Yeah, it'd be nicer to have a proper office. But we don't have a proper office. All we have is this little tiny space. So I'm gonna make do with that little tiny space. Okay, forgive me. I am making this so much more expensive than it needs to be. But basically I'm just trying to put a second one there because I want it to look like it fills in the whole area. I want like a built-in looking bookshelf, basically, to the best of my ability. I think that's pretty cool. And then we have this lovely little piece of art. I might do the dining room next because I actually did really like this dining table. I just don't know what color chairs I want to use. I kind of like these. I don't know if this one looks bad or not, but I do love that fireplace, and I'd like to have a fireplace. It's probably unnecessary to have more than one like this, but doesn't it look kind of cool to have a fireplace in both of the rooms? We'll have one in the living room and in the dining room. I'll get a pretty light for them too. We do have these little fire tools, and then maybe there should be something on top of the mantle. Oh, these are like little swans. I wasn't really picturing that, But that's kind of, oh, it changed. Oh boy. Well, that's fine. Those birds are cute too. That's okay with me. I'm gonna put another thermostat somewhere in this hallway. I almost forgot about that. I think we'll be very glad to have a second one in case you forget where it was. And then maybe I'll put a clock. That can be the dining room done. And now we just have the living room to figure out. I think I shall use the same fireplace again. Okay, that is unfortunately clipping. So I can't really do it like that. Maybe I could put a bigger bookshelf. Does that seem like a partial built-in to you? Because doing only a semi built-in is fine. I wonder if we could get a piano. No, what was I thinking just then? I'm sorry. I don't know why I even said that. No, you cannot put a piano there, Kayla. It's so big. Honestly, all I'm thinking about right now is how good it would look to have a Christmas tree in this window. Like, imagine how fun that'll be if you play here. But you cannot design an entire house just based on where the Christmas tree is gonna go, so I probably should put something else in the corner. Maybe we could do a chess table or like a card table of some sort. I don't know if I necessarily like how that looks that much, but I do think I prefer it for gameplay because I kind of find it hard to have spaces to put those card tables, but I like them. I think they're fun to play with. Oh, let's do artwork. And instead of art, what if we had like little places where you could hang up family photos? Because I would totally do that if I was playing in this house. Oh, you know what? This might have been nice in the hallway. I'm scared about that being possible to get past though. I think the last thing I'll do in this room is get some kind of cute open shelving. I don't know if putting the candle this close to the books is a good idea or not, but it's fine. Maybe they could have like a little statue from their travels or something. That seems really nice. Oh, can we get like board games? If I search the word board, do they even come up? That is such a cute sort of family room vibe. I think that's perfect. That's actually probably the whole downstairs done. So that just gives us 4 bedrooms to furnish. Oh my gosh. 4 bedrooms and the rest of the outside. So let me do that real quick. Thankfully, these rooms are quite small, so it shouldn't be that bad. All right, listen, this is probably a bad idea because there's no tub in this house, but I'm gonna decorate this room as if it belongs to an infant, because that's fine. You can still bathe the infants in sinks. I think it's just called clean up or something, but it is possible they'll just use the sink to like rinse them off a little bit. It's kind of like the equivalent of if you had your sim wash their hands. So it only gets their hygiene up a tiny bit, but it gets it up enough. So then we can have one baby's room. I think that this room is probably best suited as the primary bedroom just because it's the biggest. Yikes. And I guess I sort of assume it won't have that much stuff in it just because there's not that much room. Maybe we could put the ottoman at the end of the bed. Okay, so here's what we've got for the primary bedroom. And then these last 2 rooms, I think these will be like little kids' rooms. I am extremely tempted to use my first pet stuff purely because of this. Imagine if you had that window seat in your bedroom. Like, how fun would that be? I guess that'll be the deciding factor for what the color scheme of the room is. Maybe we could have this kind of cool blue and yellow thing because I'll paint all the walls yellow. And then we could use some of the university furniture because this fits pretty well. I could even use the wardrobe from university, I think. Oh, and like this little university mirror. That's perfect. I can raise it up a tiny bit. Okay, so maybe this room belongs to a teenager. We could do some posters. I kind of like the Minecraft one, actually. I think that's good. Oh my God, I actually kind of love that room. So we have a teen, a baby. Let's do a child in this room. Maybe I'll use this bed. I don't know what color theme. I haven't really used that one. And we have a fair bit of that sort of orangey blue theme going on. Do you think it would be bad if they had no dresser and just like a science table? Because I'm kind of feeling like that would be bad, but it's also kind of fun. I think realistically, you probably would like to have things like dressers in your kids' rooms, but you know, you can't have it all. Oh, that comes in yellow. That's pretty good. University has that really nice like little shelf thing. This might be perfect for that room. And then we could always put like a soccer ball or something because the kids probably into football, right? They're British. Everybody there likes that stuff. There's some, oh, that's what it is. It's green. I was gonna say, I knew there was a sports court one that was orange, but that's basketball. It does kind of match though. Maybe I'll use it anyway. Okay, well that's the whole interior done. I'm gonna try to figure out the back patio again real quick because we have a lot to do if we want this to look nice. I think I'll put a grill. I'd like to have a little outdoor table. I feel like that's kind of a nice touch. There are some things like maybe these bikes could be cute if we put a couple of bikes in the front yard. We need to do a lot with landscaping to make this all blend in a bit better. I feel like that's nice and simple. And then maybe we could have some little potted plants or something because the backyard stuff pack has potted plants and those might be nice to just stick right here because that gives us some more color. And then maybe like, I don't know, a telescope. The kids could have a telescope to look out of. All of a sudden the build is was like a death trap or something. Okay, that's pretty nice for the back. I actually don't think I'm gonna furnish the one next door. I think I'll just let it be. If anything, I'd probably just like duplicate it and change some colors, but I don't think that's worth it. So I'll probably leave the backyard mostly empty too. I am gonna wanna get a trash can. I'll just stick that back here. Easy access. And then in the front yard, I think I'll use these little potted plants again because those were so cute. And we also have a welcome mat, so I'll probably put that. I think I may lean the bike up against the wall. Probably get it in a brighter color, maybe like yellow. Oh, should I give them like a bird bath? That might be really cute for the front. Patio space. All right, so this is what I have so far. Little patio space, we got some extra flowers. We do have to get a mailbox. Realistically, they'd be like in the door or something, but for it to be functional in The Sims, we have to put a mailbox elsewhere. I'm worried about putting the mailbox like right here, because I'm scared that if I do that, it won't function right. But maybe I should just get over it, because it does look nice like that. I think I might put something up here, just something cute to help with that space. Okay, and then lastly, I'll probably just get some terrain paint. I'm gonna want it to be kind of subtle, but I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna put that all the way around the whole house. We'll put it underneath all the trees, and there are a lot of trees. I hate the lighting. It's bad at all times of day. It makes me feel so sad. It looks way better from the back, but you can't tell when I'm gonna put it on the gallery. It's gonna look so weird. I'm gonna swap it to a residential rental, and then we have to assign the units. They're both quite small, so this process won't take very long. Oops, I broke it. Oh my God. And it's starting to lag. All right, well, that's the best that I can do. That is my slightly British-inspired, semi-detached house. Oh, no. You turn off those lot challenges, whatever they are. I don't want them. I think it looks best in the morning. Ooh, no, it doesn't. Okay, I'm out of characters. I'm gonna call it a British semi-detached. And it's 2 builds. I hate the gallery preview. I hate it. But it's uploaded in case you want to download it. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed this. And if you're British, I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I did what I could, okay? Also, thank you again to ThredUp for sponsoring today's video. If you want to check them out, I'll have it linked down below. All those new search features are seriously so cool. So make sure you go check it out. And with that, I'm gonna end the video right here, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Oh my goodness, this video is so long. I did not intend for it to take this long for me to build it, and yet I was just yapping and yapping and yapping.